whispers about a deal. There has not been a deal that's been reached, correct?
No, there's no deal that's been reached, no deal that's been discussed, and I don't think there's any rumors that the judge just put on the record, pro forma, what he has to do, which is make sure that if there's a deal that's been offered on the record, he's got to make sure the client understands that, and that's it. But there's been no full discussions.
What else can you tell us about the case?
We're ready to go. We're ready to go. I mean, it's been a long time. It's been over 2 years. Obviously, it's been something that's weighing over Rocky and Rihanna and their families' heads for a while, and we're just ready. We're anxious to get this thing underway and get this behind him and them.
And he was not in court today?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't supposed to be. He didn't have to be, but certainly he'll be here on Tuesday when the bell rings.
How's he doing?
He's great. He's as busy as ever. He was in Germany for Puma just now. He's got a full slate. He's got 2 young babies that he's very much involved in the upbringing of, and he's hands-on with them. And he's confident. He's confident that he's ready to go. He knows, he believes in justice, and he believes this is going to work out.
Really strong case. Do you feel like you have a strong case?
Well, it's not our case to be strong, right? We're the defense. We have no burden, no obligation. I feel that the case against Rocky is fundamentally weak. It relies on testimony from people who are not credible, and I believe the defense is very, very strong.
Should we expect to see Rihanna in court at all?
Meghan, I don't know the answer, honestly. That's a family decision that they will have to make. It's really, I know Rocky's very protective of Rihanna and doesn't want her anywhere near this proceeding. But that's a family decision they'll make, so I really don't know the answer to that, guys.
Can you talk a bit all about how much you might go into the confidence of the police investigation here? Obviously, they didn't find the shell casings.
I think they're very competent. I think the police were very competent in this investigation. They did a great job. I think they did a thorough search, and I think that if there were things there for them to find, they would have found it. There's a reason that 10 police officers searched and didn't find shell casings there. There's a reason. Not because they were blind or they were drunk or because they didn't want to find it, because they did a thorough job, and I have no issue with the police investigation in this case at all.
What role will the video take in the trial?
Like any other piece of evidence. It's going to be evidence that is going to come with, some context. And context hasn't been explained yet, but the context will be put into evidence with the videotape.
Is there anything that the prosecution could offer that you would consider at this point?
Again, it's not for me to consider, it's for him to consider and his family. But I just don't, I know the facts and I know what happened, and Rocky didn't commit a crime. And I just can't imagine. Look, there's always a risk when you go to trial, right? And he's got a lot on the line here. He's got a family, 2 young, beautiful children, a career. But we'll have to let him make that decision ultimately. But right now, there's been no offer of any substance at all, so we'll see.
You surprised at all by the office's decision to add a second chair to this case? It's a high-profile prosecutor, a guy who convicted Robert Durst. Did that say anything to you?
I don't care.
That's cool.
I don't care who they put on this case. The facts are the facts. The evidence is the evidence. No problem with anyone. They could bring, what's his name, Hockman?
The DA himself?
Yeah, sure. Let him come too. I don't care.
There was a discussion about how to refer to Rihanna. Was that more in case she comes up in your opening, like he's got a family?
I'm not bringing her up. I mean, I don't know why everyone's so, excited about Rihanna, but it's, this case is not about Rihanna. But I guess the DA wants to make sure that people aren't so enamored with Rihanna. They're going to be so blinded by their love for Rihanna that they won't listen to the evidence and the facts in this case. I don't think that's the case. I think people are too smart for that. But I guess they're so worried about it that they want to make sure that, she's classified in the right way. There's really no matter to me whatsoever.
So the settlement that the judge mentioned that you discussed, anything was put in terms of pleading guilty to a lesser sentence?
There's been no discussion of substance. I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, the DA would have to make an offer, which they haven't done yet, and then I have to say okay, and I'll bring it to the client, and we'd have to discuss it, and then we'd say no, and then we'd pick a jury on Tuesday. I'd be here for jury selection on Tuesday, guys. I really would be.
How confident is he?
Very.
For sake of clarity, so the mention that Lewin made of whatever conversation you had with Lewin today, that was the only discussion of a settlement at all the whole time?
Yeah, and it wasn't even a substantive one because there was no offer made. It was just the notion, I think it's before any trial I've ever been involved in, civil, criminal, whatever, you discuss, can this case be resolved before trial, before you invest 3 weeks of your life and the resources of a jury trial. So I think it's normal, just, it's normal, but there's been no substance at all.
So you got a list of 34 witnesses. How many do you think we're going to hear from, for sure?
You mean from our
yeah,
side?
or how many witnesses?
Oh, Megan, honestly, we were over-inclusive in that list. You know how it goes. I mean, we have no burden to do anything. It all depends on how their case goes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if the wheels fall off the bus during the presentation of their evidence, it'll reduce the number of witnesses we may want to call. I don't know if we've committed to actually anyone just yet, but we'll see. I've never tried a defense case knowing I'm calling X amount of witnesses before we start.
Yeah.
It depends on what happens with their case. So we'll see what happens. But, I think there'll be a few defense witnesses in this case.
Yeah.
But again, the burden's on them. Our defense comes out in large part, and I know you know this, Megan, as someone who covers courts in these cases. The defense comes out in large part during cross-examination.
Yeah.
That's where you bring out the defense. So it depends what else we need to tie up. If we need to tie up other, areas of the case, of the defense, we'll do it through witnesses if we need to.
Is the star witness Relli the alleged victim, or are there other witnesses?
Star
you're looking
witness,
to?
he's the witness in this case, for sure. He's the witness in this case that this case will rise and fall on, for sure. Whether he's a star is something that remains to be seen.
At the preliminary, there was mention of a civil suit. Is the civil suit still open and active from
Yes, it is.
Relli?
Yeah. Relli's sued for money. I think he sued me too. So I haven't lost a minute's sleep over that, but yes, he's suing everyone. He just wants money, lots of money.
Do you feel like this is mainly based on a money grab?
Oh, I do. I think this is in large part about money. This jealousy, obviously, and he's made that clear. He became a hater, but whatever. This is in large part about a desire to get money. And if he got money, we wouldn't all be sitting here right now. That's a fact.
If they turned over a witness list, if you know, anyone besides Relli and law enforcement we need to know about?
No, not that I know about.
So it's just other than law enforcement, Relli is the only civilian.
What about the girlfriend that went to the police station with him?
Yeah, she may be testifying. I hope so.
And your client, is he ready to testify? Waiting to hear what he says?
Now, you know that I do not never make a decision like that in trial, right? It's not practice. That being said, he's eager to tell his story. He would love the opportunity to do so. He's very articulate, very intelligent. He's a good human being, and that will come out if he testifies, but that decision has not been made yet. It depends on how the case goes. Okay, guys. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. See you
Thanks so
next week.
much.
Okay, thanks.